Have you ever come across a gorilla who could steer a car, tell clever jokes, wield hundreds of words, and tend to a pet cat? Imagine if I told you this gorilla offered breathtaking thoughts about the heavens and had a notion of what comes after death. Even more, before he left this world, he delivered a message to humanity in sign language, words that will leave you stunned and chilled. Watch this story to the end to uncover the message this gorilla shared. In a Los Angeles zoo, a gorilla unlike any other was born. Named Kaj, he bore an astonishing likeness to humans, not just in form, but in intellect and emotion too. Kaj spoke to people through gestures, revealing a vibrant inner life and conveying feelings with remarkable precision. He expressed it all, anger to affection, gloom to glee, with a clarity that astonished onlookers. He had quirks some might find peculiar, like his fascination with ears. He loved gazing at them and sometimes tried to touch them. Kaj, who carried himself as a sovereign, could spark laughter, craft new terms, and even drive a vehicle. He kept several pets close to his heart. His musings on death stirred curiosity, and tests pegged his IQ at an impressive 80 to 98 for an animal, against a human average of 100 and a peak of 108 in South Korea. Before his passing, Kaj gifted the world a mysterious and poignant message, as if he'd peered into the secrets of being. But before I unveil it, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss more incredible tales. Kaj came into existence in a Southern California zoo. His early years stood apart from those of ordinary gorillas, a challenging path. As a baby, he endured a severe illness, marking him as the 43rd gorilla born in captivity there. His sickness separated him from his mother, and he spent his infancy with a caretaker until he healed. Returned to his mother, she spurned him, unwilling to claim him as hers, leaving Kaj solitary in a vast cage among unfamiliar gorillas. Then everything changed when a young biopsychology student, Maria, took him under her care for a research project. Maria taught him sign language and tested his abilities. Kaj excelled with unexpected ease, bearing his brilliant mind. His vocabulary swelled to about 3,000 words. He'd sign, "Kaj sees the moon. Where's the nose in this picture? There." He wielded 800 signs and understood 1,700 more, grasping intricate ideas like a child. Kaj discerned truth from lie, good from evil, and navigated nouns to adjectives. His first learned word was ruler, reflecting how he saw himself. He'd sign ruler instead of his name. Kaj didn't just learn, he invented words too. Not knowing earrings, he fused ear and jewel into ear jewel. His humor was striking. He loved jesting, verbally or physically. Once, he pinched Maria's arm and then giggling signed, "Sorry." He acted like a playful kid. His jokes hinted at his grasp of others' minds, a trait called theory of mind. He once signed to Maria, "I'm Kaj, who are you?" Maria, human. This knack for sensing emotions and intentions tied to empathy was rare. Kaj had it in abundance, his wit a testament. He wasn't merely an ape, he defied all norms. Kaj even mastered driving a car, highlighting his exceptional intellect and human traits. Among his quirks was his ear fixation. He'd stare at them on anyone, sometimes reaching out. In the early 2000s, keepers said he'd often sign for people to show him their ears. Primate experts noted this was unique among gorillas. Kaj rose to stardom over time. Known initially to Maria and her circle, he soon captivated the world. His mirror selfie spread globally. He landed on the cover of Nature and People, his name ringing far and wide. Celebrities like Meryl Streep visited his home to meet him. Comedian Jim Carrey bonded with Kaj, their connection extraordinary. His view of friendship was distinct. At 16, Kaj did what most gorillas can't. He recognized his reflection. Unlike others who see a stranger, Kaj knew it was him and often inspected himself, a sign of rare self-awareness. He adored films, with Children of the Rain as his favorite. In the scene where characters part with their home, he'd turn away to avoid tears. His emotional depth and empathy shone through. After King Kong, he handled his toy monkeys gingerly, showing his worldview. One winter night, Kaj asked Maria for a puppy. She offered a plush toy first, wary of a live pet's safety, but Kai cast it aside, signing sad and demanding a real companion. They brought him orphaned kittens, and he chose the smallest, naming it Tiny for its ball-like size. Kaj nurtured it like his own, cradling it tenderly despite his bulk. Kaj adored Tiny with all his being. This kitten was his treasure. He'd hold it for hours, play with it, care for it like a parent. But one day, disaster struck. Tiny was struck by a car outside Kaj's home. When Maria came to tell him, Kaj seemed to sense it before she spoke. Hearing of his friend's death, he plunged into grief. His hands slowly signed sadness, his brow creased, then bad, a simple, pain-laden word. Maria later said, "I told him, Kaj, something awful happened to Tiny. He's gone. He's dead." It was hard to see him get it. For days, Kaj was a shadow of himself, sitting silently, staring blankly, emitting low, mournful sounds like human weeping. His sorrow was palpable. He grieved for the friend he'd cherished. A photo of Kai with Tiny, him holding the kitten like a gem, later became legendary, gracing Nature and People's cover and touching millions. After Tiny's loss, Kaj wasn't alone. Other cats came into his life, each a comfort. Inspired by his story and love for pets, Maria wrote Kai's kitten, capturing his gentleness and soul. Near his life's end, a keeper showed Kaj a skull and asked, "Alive or not?" Kaj eyed it and signed no firmly. Asked, "Where do the dead go?" He paused, then signed, "To a quiet hole." He raised his hand in a parting wave, as if saluting someone unseen. That moment lingered with all who saw it, wise and touching, hinting Kai knew more than he could share. In 2020, Kai slipped away quietly at 53, passing in his sleep as if resting after a long day. But before he went, he left a profound, haunting message for the world, sparking thoughts on life's meaning. In his final days, Maria sat with him and asked, "Kaj, what do you want to tell people?" He looked at her intently and signed, "I gorilla, I flowers, I nature. Earth loves Kaj, but humans foolish Kaj, sorry." Kaj cries, "Time has come. Fix Earth, help Earth, protect Earth. Nature sees you, thank you." Don't forget to like, share with friends, and subscribe for more astonishing stories.